welcome back to our Ride the Route 2020. We've just come into Swinderby. This is part 2 of our filming. Roland's in the lead with Andy behind, and there's 2 behind us. That's Alan and Gary. Just coming up past the plough, which often has lots of people on the ride to save lives, all waving, and coming up through the village. Usually plenty of people out waving when we do the ride. We're the last 2 years very well supported through Swinderby. Nice little village. If you see anybody wandering around, just give them a wave and a toot perhaps, because we will be telling the villages that you are coming through during September. Some well-behaved bikers all coming through raising money for the air ambulance, and I'm sure they'll be more than happy to give you a wave. Left turn here, heading off to North Skyle. We will be posting the map of the route as well, GPX route and a drawn route and directions, so you shouldn't go wrong. If you've done the route before, then you probably remember it. The route in total takes, if you did it non-stop, about 1 hour 50, but there is a nice little stop. We'll show you halfway round if you want to stop and get some refreshments in just the other side of Gainsborough. Coming out Swinderby city limits now and heading off into the countryside. Narrow road, of course, lots of potholes, so lots of things to look out for. Very scenic countryside though, nice being out in the middle of nowhere. There's some people who have been quite local to this area. When we've taken them on this route, they've said, "Oh, I've never been down that road before." As you can see from Andy's speedo, we're not doing excessive speed, and in fact good job, because we're just coming up to a railway crossing that's shut. That's the Newark-Lincoln line, just up from Collingham station. Interesting old-fashioned level crossing here with a guy that comes out. Oh, there's Alan behind, and can't quite see Gary, but he's behind Alan. As you can see, the chap comes out and opens the gate single-handed, just a single gate. Like going back to the old days, isn't it? Thank you, and gives you a wave. And off we go. So you might get stopped there, you might not. But if you do, it's about a 5-minute wait. Unless there's a train coming the other way, then it'll be a 10-minute wait. Nice bendy road, most of it you can see around the corners. Some of it's got a centre line and some hasn't. So, still a nice route to ride. We're getting up to 50 mile an hour now, giving it some. So I'm still in front, that's Roland, and Andy's doing all the filming. Thank you, Andy. He had 3 cameras on his bike, 1 on his helmet, which you've got now, 1 on the front, which we'll see later, and probably saw before, and there's 1 on his top box, which you saw when we were stopped, with Alan behind. It's wobbling about a bit, so there won't be a lot of film from that one. We're coming into North Skyle. Nice little pub here in North Skyle on the left, called the White Hart, just by the crossroads. Just over there on the left, just see the edge of it. Out through North Skyle, and away we go. Just to cut the amount of film down, you'll notice now and again that we do jump a few miles here and there. Otherwise you'll get 1 hour 50 of us going along roads, which is probably more interesting if you ride them yourself. Not far out of North Scarl, as you can see, we get to a junction where we need to turn right, heading towards Wigsley. Away we go. The road gets a bit straight here. Just along here there's something rather interesting. So where is it? Yeah, I'm about to overtake a scooter, and the guy on the scooter's actually got a fishing rod. Well, it's a holdall full of fishing rods on his back, so left-hand turns on his scooter would be a bit of a problem. This is going over what used to be Wigsley Aerodrome, so it's got all flat and bits of concrete around. It was a World War II aerodrome here. We do get a few photographers on the way around, sitting here on the Ride to Save Lives, taking pictures of the bikes coming by. Nice sweepy bends with plenty of vision. Coming up to a wooded area now towards Wigsley. Tunnel of trees. And this is where we do another left turn. This is going to, what it says on the map is Thorny Heath. It's towards Thorny, but we don't go as far as Thorny. We're actually going through Wigsley now. Wigsley's quite famous because it's one of the thankful villages, and through the 2 world wars they never had anybody killed in those wars, so they don't actually have a war memorial. Interesting information for you. We're going over a bridge, and oh, some cyclists right on the bridge. Hang back, see where they're going. Oh, we've got a bit of a view now, we can go by. Luckily they've gone into single file. Thank you, cyclists. Come out to a junction again, and this is Thorny Heath, so we turn right here and we're heading off to the road that comes down from Doddington. Oh, and he's letting the others go through, so now he's at the back. So we've got Roland in the front, got Alan, then Gary on his big Thunderbird, and Andy coming up the rear. Another tunnel of trees. In the autumn it's a bit damp through here, as you can imagine, there's leaves everywhere. It makes the ride very interesting. So if you do the ride in September, it should be similar to this. Hopefully you'll pick a sunny day. Coming up to the junction where we go left. This is the road that comes down from Doddington. and it connects up with the A57 from Saxelby. So hang a left here, short bit of straight down to the junction. Getting a bit of a speed up now. Not for long, because we're going to have to stop at the junction. There's usually a bit of a queue. We'll be turning left here and heading towards Gainsborough. Oh yes, there is a queue, so I'll probably fast forward this bit. There we go. Moving on. Looks like we can all get out. Yes, onto the A57. Junction here, Grinsey Nook, just stay on the A50. On this road, don't turn off on the A57, head on straight on up to Gainsborough. Known as Grinsey Nook. You've got the Fosdyke navigation on your right. There's the turning that carries on to Dunham Bridge. We don't want that one, so we just go straight on. A little way up here we get stuck behind a tractor, so I'll probably cut a bit out because we're just going along very slowly behind a tractor and it's not much fun to watch. Now there's one coming the other way. He does actually turn off a mile or so ahead. We're just stuck in this queue. Nice bit of straight road with some nice sweepy bends on this. From here up to Torksey where we turn off again. So you got off the little roads and can have a bit of a blast along these. No more than 60 miles an hour, of course. During the week it's unlikely if you get stuck behind something, it's unlikely you can get past because there's so much stuff coming the other way. And these tractors, you never know when they're going to turn off. They turn off into roads that are not roads, do you? He went off there, so now we're away. Lovely left-hander coming up. Keep the speed up all the way around here. Sort of two parts to it. That's the first part, and then you stay up here and get the second part in. Nice smooth road as well. You can see round it. Into a 40 through this village. Only a short bit. Then we're out towards Torksey. There is a pub there, but unfortunately it's been shut for some years. This is Fenton, by the way. Then we're off on some nice bends here. if you come along some days, I can't remember which days, but there's a Sunday market. Well, it's like a market in a field, car boot sale type thing just up here towards Torksey, and it's like loads of traffic all over the place pulling in and out of a field, so what's something to watch for when it's car boot day. That's it, over on the right, can you see them all in the field? There's a car pulling out. We went on a Wednesday, so Wednesday must be one of the days. Coming into what they call Torksey Lock, which is a little bit before Torksey. Pub over on the left there. Can't remember what that one's called. I'm not sure whether it's open or not. Yep. Coming into the bridge over the Fosdyke, and just to the left is the lock itself. It goes into the Trent. Fosdyke to the Trent. Up through the village. Coming now into Torksey itself. In this village there used to be a very nice restaurant called the Hume Arms, which I think's shut now. It's shut for some time. Right on the bend, just see it in front of us, that white building. Just there. Sad, because that was a really nice restaurant, I remember. Just through the village and out the outside, and making a right hand turn. Takes us over to Sturton. Just past what used to be a railway bridge. Just here. And off we go on to part 3.